Just a second with a T.
Oh, I think you froze up on me. Let's see. Let's see what I'm chatting.
I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, like kick me off. Oh, I think you kicked me off again. Okay.
Are you good? I'm like, and I'm just talking. I'm like, I inbox you. I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, I was trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm like, So, but guys that are on, sorry for the inconvenience. It happens. It's happened before. I'm glad he's able to click back in. I don't know if you can see the comment, but Nico said he see that Lincoln shirt.
Yeah, now I got to put off.
I
Got to put
don't know if
off.
that's a good comment or not, but
Good comment. It's good,
good
especially if
comment. Okay. All right, guys. Share the live. We're talking about learning how to create safe spaces for our partners today. Um, Again, as usual, those who've been on, share the live. Share it just regularly, not as a watch party, because I cannot see comments or get a hold of anybody's questions if they're watching through a watch party. I hate that's how it goes, but until Facebook gets it together, I can't see people's comments in a watch party. So make sure you tune in with your questions, your comments. Like I said, those who've been on here before, you guys know the deal. Newcomers, please ask questions. Please get your comments down in the comment box, and we'll try to get our guests, you know, get into you guys' topics or your comments. So let's go ahead and get started. Can you just give us a guest speaker introduction?
Sure. My name is Rafael Thornton. I'm 32. Been married for 9 years. Graduate of Lincoln University. Graduated in 2011. Currently, I work in the field of social work. I'm a social worker, and just I like to be creative, speak out on certain things, certain topics. Definitely put on for the married man because a lot of times, a lot of mediums and stuff are out for single people. Single people get like a lot of stuff because most of the people are single, but it's
A lot
not
of stuff. Wait, a lot of stuff like what?
like when we talk about like dating advice or how to make things work, it's a lot of things that's geared towards more single people. Whereas married people, we kind of have some experiences. We have our own struggles. We have our own successes, and I feel like we don't get a lot of time to share that. So that's why I'm glad to sign on for this to hear our part of it.
Right, and that's my goal. Hello, is it Bella Belly? Hello guys that's tuning in. Um, that's part of my platform. I want advice and perspectives from married, single, divorced, dating, whatever the case, because we all need. We're all in different stages of our lives, and so we do need some. We need to know who's out there that we can connect with,
Yeah.
or that we can learn different lessons with, because I'm all about learning, learning lessons, obviously. And I love that as a man that you're coming on here and speaking from a male's perspective. It's a little glitching on my end, like I said before. If it glitches or anything, just keep going. As long as it don't cut out, we should be good. It'll pick back up.
Okay.
Hey, internet. um but I don't know, just going back to which I know you said it's a lot of dating things for us as singles, right? Is that what, like, dating advice? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, like what I mean by that is one. This is kind of a little bit off topic. Man, dating looks hard nowadays. Like dating is very hard, very complicated, very complex.
Really is.
It's fine. It's good in that we all are connecting, trying to find each other. But also, there's like people in their marriages that need advice on how to keep things fresh. Like, what do we do when we're struggling? How do we show people that hey, our marriage is working because of this, this, and that? Or I'm going through these struggles. Who can I reach out to that went through the same struggle as me as a married man
Right.
versus taking that a single person? Because single person, they ain't really got no connections. I'm single. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
My problems necessarily translate to you as a single man, and vice versa. Like, yeah, I'm having problems with my wife or success with my wife. Well, I ain't married, so
Mhm.
this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So, kind of bridging that gap between, hey, let's get together and figure out what we can do.
Yeah, I definitely think the gap needs to be bridged. I want to speak also from my experience. Like, I'm not married, but I am divorced, so I have been on that side of the relationship fence. So sometimes it's almost like, I wouldn't say offensive. Offensive is not the word, because the way you said it, it was real proper and respectful the way you said it. But I do feel sometimes, because again, we're talking about creating these safe spaces. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily feel you have to have a certain title to be able to give advice on how to create, a certain safe space
Mm-hmm.
for a partner. But marriage is different from just not being married. But there are a lot of similarities in the fact that the exclusivity,
Yeah.
so I may not be married, but I'm exclusive with one person. So maybe as a single person who's exclusive with somebody, maybe I need that married person to tell me how
Yeah.
to act with my partner. So sometimes I don't like to get caught up in the title of things and saying, oh, well, you're single, so you don't understand what a married person going through, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But then I agree with you. Sometimes that's where discernment comes in at, because if you are married, you do got to watch what type of single person is actually trying to give you advice. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with you on that. Um, Before I ask my next question, because the next question actually was going to ask why did you choose this, but you went right into it. So so that's good. I don't need to ask that, but I'm gonna put a commenter's comment on the screen. I don't know if you can see it, but it does say dating is hard in marriages as well. You have to be intentional about dating when married.
Yeah. I mean, this also want to talk to go into something else I want to talk about a little bit later.
Okay.
Have that sense of you know monogamy. Like this is the person that I'm going to be with. Like this person that I want to be with. So I'm going to do these things to make sure my intentions are known with this person. So if my wife is struggling, if she's having a bad day, I don't necessarily have to come in and fix her day, but I need to show her that I am there to listen to her for that day. Because a lot of times you might not want to be fixed, or the problem doesn't need to be solved, but you just want somebody to hear out that problem. So knowing the difference between, hey, this is something I need to fix, or hey, this is something I just need to sit back and just chill out on.
I love that you said that because, oh my God. Okay, men that's on here that's going to run across this. This is no shade to you guys, but we don't always need you to fix things. When we tell you something, we just want you to listen so we can get it out of our minds, our thought process. Like, we just need a sounding board that's not us. So don't just come in always trying to fix, what we're saying, and you're not actually hearing what it is that we're telling you. So yeah, you're right. I love how you said that. You definitely got to be intentional on those type things.
That's something I had to learn. Like, you always learn in life. Like, by no means I'm no expert on this. I'm still learning new stuff every day. But at the same time, I was like, early on in my marriage, I wanted to be that dude that fixed everything. Like, hey, my wife is unhappy. She should not be unhappy at all. Like, everything, I got this. It's cool. And I couldn't do that. And when I tried to do that and failed, that made things worse, because that led to like trust issues, confidence, security issues. So once I took the time to examine myself, see what I was doing wrong and what I needed to do, that made me show me that I needed to step back and say, hey, you know what? I don't need to fix everything. Like, these are some things that she wants to do, or some things that she needs to get off her chest, and it's okay for her to do that.
Yeah. I feel like this in itself should be like a whole different broadcast, because it should be more in depth that we speak on this, because I don't want men supposed to be natural providers and protectors. So I don't feel like men have any harm when they do that, but I think their natural instinct, and I'm just a woman, so you correct me on, if I'm saying it wrong, but I feel like men's natural instinct is to come in and protect and fix. So it's not that they mean any harm, but again, like you said, it's a learning thing. Like we learn. We have to continue to learn every day of our life. Okay, this partner may actually wanted me to fix them. Now this next partner may get irritated and like, look, don't fix me, just listen. So I love how you said that. You definitely got to learn your partner and know what they are actually needing. And then it was something you said a little bit ago. I think you said something about you came in and you was like, well, I don't need to fix her. I just need to listen to her. So something like that you said. But I think too with women, we also have to be careful to not want you guys to always fix, a situation, because you guys can't always fix everything in itself too. So it does have two sides to that particular story.
Yeah. I got you. Because a lot of times, if there's a problem, like, speaking on my wife, she might be a little bit mad at me. She has a lot of external people that bother her, and she doesn't necessarily take that out on them. She takes that out on me. And, I'm kind of used to it as a husband. Like, hey, I have to, be that bouncing board, that sounding board. But at the same time, I'll still have to direct her, like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm going to let you get off what you need to get off. But you also need to address that issue. I'm not going to tell you how to address it, but you need to address the issue with the person you had, and not me. I'm on your side. So
I think we getting into, before I even ask my questions, we getting into my questions. But I agree with that. I had to learn, like, I'm dating, I'm not exclusive with anybody, but I had to learn that as well. It's no harm to your wife. I'm not even sure. Maybe that's just a woman's thing, because I hear a lot of women do it. I've been guilty of doing it. And I've even had to apologize recently to a friend, because he's like my safe space. We're talking about safe spaces. I can be myself with him. He don't judge me. He don't go and tell people what I said. It's my safe space. And I had to apologize to him recently, because it wasn't him. It was other stuff that was going on. And I like literally took it out on him. Not directly out on him, but the way I spoke about the situation, I was giving that energy to him. And so I end up apologizing and we end up talking about it. But I was like, okay, I don't think we realize, because we talk about partnerships right here, but sometimes these safe spaces also needs to happen in friendships too. But that'll be another thing to talk about. Um, but in my case, my friendship is it's almost like you have to have a friend that you can have that safe space with and lash out about things, but be careful how you do it to where you're not projecting that hurt on that person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the maturity part that you had from what you just told me is okay, I listen, yeah, you need this, you need to get that off. But now listen, babe, you need to tell them that because they're gonna keep overstepping them boundaries if you're just fussing at me and not them, there's an issue still gonna be there. So I love how you did that. Definitely.
Yeah, and since we kind of on the safe space portion of it with your partner, the key to pretty much everything that we do, whether it be relationships, parenting, work, anything, is trust. You have to be able to trust your person with 100% of you. That's every positive, every negative, and knowing
Absolutely.
that, hey, if I tell you this, I don't want you to go back and tell somebody else what I'm telling you, or you
Absolutely.
use that against me at a later date. So if I'm telling you like, man, babe, I'm feeling a little, my self confidence is low, like I'm not feeling like myself, and we come to an argument, you call
Hmm.
me like a punk or something, like, well, kind
Yeah.
of, you broke that trust. So trust is the key to making all that happen.
So we are, guys, we are actually, this is really good. I've never actually been into a panel where the person is flowing so good. He's like tackling all my questions before I can answer them. So, and he's doing just that. So I'm still going to go over my questions. You guys get your comments and questions in because he's answering mine before I get to him. But I'm still going to, it's really good stuff. So I'm still going to ask these questions. So if your comment becomes repetitive, this is why, because you already boom went straight into everything I was finna, kind of speak on. Um, but I think from my experience, again, I don't want to get off, but when I speak on these safe spaces, I'm not in a relationship. So a lot of my safe spaces I may speak on may be friendships. Or I'm not really dating anybody where I feel like I'm there to need a safe space with. So most of mine will be friendships, but I found that my safe spaces are mainly with my male friends. And sometimes I look and I say, okay, is that unhealthy? But from my experience, most women, or what you just said, like they talk. They talk too much. You tell them something that's secret and confidence, and they go and tell somebody else that they think won't go tell nobody else, and then they think they won't go tell nobody else.
Right.
Now everything is out there. So it's been hard for me to have safe spaces with women. I do have a few that God has sent my way that's been proving themselves that they are my safe space. But yeah, I definitely agree. Whether that's a friend or even especially your mate, you cannot, like, this is for men. I think women do this, especially when they're mad. If a man is telling you, hey, this is my vulnerable area. When you're mad at him, don't go and don't, oh, you just a punk, you weak, or when you do that, those are attacking words.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, I feel like now you just broke that safe space for this person. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's already hard for men to open up. So when they do, why why use what they gave you? And again, speaking from experience, whoopings that I had in my life that I had to learn. Don't, if they give you something, they trust you enough to give you something, don't use that as a weapon toward them later.
Yeah, it's like
So
goes back to trust, and I think it is more or less a guy thing. Because speaking of like my safe spaces, like I have one, maybe two females that I talk to just to kind of get like, hey, I might be missing something from my wife. She's moving a little bit different.
yeah,
So what does it mean for when women are moving like this? Because
yeah,
I might be missing the mark. And then if I'm struggling, I could talk to them, and it stays pretty much with them.
yeah,
But with most of my guy friends, I don't know, I feel like it's easier for guys to keep secrets because we don't really talk about that stuff a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Um, because most of the time it's like, hey, bro, what's your problem? All right, this is what it is. Boom. We won't revisit it unless we need to revisit it again.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, guy thing. So, but
yeah.
also that's kind of a a barrier too, because a lot of times if we are struggling as men,
Yep.
and we might have the same struggle, we don't talk to each other about that struggle because, man, I don't know how to tell you what to do because I'm doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
we had to go
Absolutely.
that part of like, hey, man, we just struggling together. We got to figure out what we need to do.
And that's why I'm loving these men that are getting on the panels, because as a woman, you guys, I mean, women are stubborn too, but you guys are really stubborn. You guys want to be macho all the time. So it's like, I don't need to talk to nobody. I figured out myself. And when you guys get on my panels like these, I feel like men that run across this, like, dang, he dealing with that too. Oh, that's dope. Maybe I'll hit him up later in the inbox or something, and, connect with him that way. So I love, hey, Tiara. So I love when, especially when my men can get on here and, speak their piece. Before I go to my next question, I want to tackle what you said. You said you had female friends that you.
Oh no, I think we're frozen. If you're talking, I can't hear your question. Man, I think it froze again. Oh no, I just sent you a message. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Okay. It did freeze, but it's like you was talking, but the screen was froze. So that's kind of one of those things where I was saying, like, if it freezes, long as we can still hear each other, just keep talking, because then the screen, I guess, will
Okay.
kick back in when it, need to. Um, Bernez, am I still frozen?
No, you good. You good.
Okay. Somebody in the comment section said I'm frozen. Um, Hold on, they texting me in on here. Hold on. Okay, guys. So some people are saying I'm froze, some saying I'm not. As long as you can hear me, I'm gonna just continue to talk, and then hopefully the screen will kick back in. Um,
Oh, you're probably talking. I can't hear you. But you can probably hear me, but the screen went black. So, sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying. Yeah, it froze again. Uh, so thank y'all. This is nice. This is nice. I never had a chance to talk like this before in front of people, so it's pretty nice. Okay. So how y'all? Okay, there we go.
hey guys. Okay, so we both just refreshed. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
I'm getting text and comment section. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize we were.
Yeah, I was trying to talk. I don't know if it actually cut off,
Are
but
you
I mean,
okay? So I can see you now, but I can't hear you.
oh, how about now? Any better? Is it better? Oh, uh, I don't know what I need to do. That's camera. Okay. Huh. I might have to. I might have to go out and come back in.
Okay, so somebody, see, I can't hear you, but somebody just said they can hear both of us.
Oh wow. Huh. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, try to refresh. Try to refresh your screen again.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having him. Okay, Carrie. And see, I saw him. So you guys are saying you could hear us both, but I literally could not hear him at first. We good.
Okay. Am I
We
good?
good. We good. We good. You hear me? We
Yes.
good? Oh, yes. Okay, we good to go. Oh my God. Okay. So y'all.
It's too good.
Right when we was getting in
Right.
good. Okay, so is Carrie your wife?
Yes, that's my wife.
Okay, I'm like, I saw the last name. I'm like, okay, all right. No, it's not iPhone, Charlie. We're on the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got an iPad, so it may be. I'm gonna blame him. It may be it may be his fault.
Look, I'm gonna create a safe space, and I'm gonna let you get
Yes.
that off. But
Okay. Well, thank you. This is my thank you. It's my show, so you let me have my way. Gotcha. Love that. I love that. Okay. So before I move on to my and guys, let me just say we have not even gotten into my questions. Like everything we've been talking has just been flowing from him. So we have not touched not one of my questions. So I love that though. So guys, get your questions in. Hopefully this broadcast does not do it again. Share the live, tag somebody on in, talk with our guests, ask him questions because he's getting heated without me even asking my questions, and I love it. But before I go on to my question, I do want to say, go back to the friendship thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you said that because we do have this stigma, and I'm gonna go back up to Carrie's comment, but we have this stigma where guys and girls can't be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an unhealthy stigma. It's a true stigma because of how society does. But I don't count people out. You know, not everybody is shady, or not everybody is coming trying to ruin somebody else's relationship or marriage. So I do believe there needs to be a balance with men having female friends still, and then women having male friends still. For the simple fact of what you just said, you was able to have the, because men don't always understand women in their ways. You know, they don't go through a lot of the emotional, hormonal differences that we go through. So sometimes you do need that female to say, oh, okay, yeah, if she's doing this, maybe it's because A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, your wife to have a guy friend that's strictly a friend that respect y'all boundaries and everything, to say, hey, okay, Carrie, listen, if he's doing this, then don't do this. You know, don't say this, that, or other to him, or, you know, this is how you lift him up as a man. So I do think creating safe spaces, even with friendships in your relationship, are very much needed.
Mm-hmm.
But let me put Carrie's comment. So she said you definitely have to watch what female you are getting help from with your relationship. Absolutely, as well. You know what I just said, especially with the stigma that's in today's society. Yeah, a lot of people are just trying to get in, just to sneak in and get either your wife or get your husband. You know, because they are in an unhealthy space in their life. But that comes with discernment. You know, not every person is like that, because it ain't even just single friends. It's married people that's going after other people's relationships too. You know, so and ain't just the, you know, singles out there. But yeah, it just comes with discernment. It comes with you speaking with your partner, and your partner knowing that, okay, these are the friends. You know, not having no secret friends coming out the woodworks, and your partner now is like, where she come from? You know, so.
Yep. And again, that's something that, through my marriage, I had to learn, because I definitely lacked that discernment. Like, I've missed signs where there were females that were trying to mess up our relationship, and then I let them happen. I let it happen because I didn't have a discernment, or
Right.
even I was caught up in my own ways and wanting it to happen. So
Yes.
creating no safe space, to having those conversations with my wife and saying, "Hey, this is where I was. This is where I am now."
Yep.
So definitely something that we talked about and worked through, and it kind of helps for us because most of us, we have the same friends mostly.
Yeah.
They have understanding how both of us operate separately and
Yep.
how we operate as a relationship. So they're pretty trusting as far as like, hey, they can talk to us without it being an issue.
Right. And that's good. Everybody needs that, especially in today's society. I really do. I feel like everybody needs that. And I'm probably gonna be a little biased here, but I think all y'all men probably deal with that. Like y'all aren't as discerning when it comes to females. And then when we tell y'all something, you like, are you tripping? Or are you insecure? I mean, it could be an insecurity, but at the same time, it's a red flag. If we're sensing something from this particular person, trust and believe it's our intuition. We know what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I definitely had to get out of that because I was one of those, man, you tripping. It's not even like that.
yeah.
It was exactly like that, and I just missed the signs completely and
Hmm.
fell right up into the trap of like, oh yeah, we're just friends, But this line of friendship, like this
Yeah,
ain't the stuff that we were talking about. Is not stuff that friends talk about.
exactly.
How
Bingo.
friends interact. So,
Bingo.
and
And
that's
again,
I'm saying that's not, and that's being disrespectful to a marriage. Now, if it was just disrespectful to a union in general. I won't even say
again, yeah, yeah,
general.
yeah,
So taking
yeah.
into account how she feels, how my wife feels about it, like it's not just me anymore. It's not what I think, it's what we think.
Absolutely. I think that's what most people need to do in creating safe spaces for each other because it's we're two individuals, but we are a union. So you have to take into consideration what your actions and your words do to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some cases where you just have these insecure women where they just don't want you talking to nobody, but then you have to discern that situation. Like, is this something I need to be in? Especially if I know for a fact I'm not the person to step out on my partner, then, you got to ask yourself, are you willing to go through the fight with a person that's fairly making an issue out of nothing? Or if you have created a reason for this person to not want you talking to the opposite sex, then you have to respect that boundary and then figure out how to get her back to that safe space to be able to trust you again,
Mm-hmm.
to have female friends. And then, yep, internet, some women, this coming from me, it's a bunch of women that snakes. A bunch of women that snakes. And it's not always that some people are purposely warning you,
Mm-hmm.
but when a woman is hurt and or jealous or whatever the case, they may not necessarily want you, but they want that union. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna do whatever it takes to, break your happiness up because they are unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to Vernez. You said a lot. Let me scroll back up and see what you said. Give me 1 second. Okay, he said he typed really, really long, so it's not going to show all the way on the screen. So I want to read it. He said, my best friend is a female. She is married. We never crossed the line. I am cool with her husband. I text him and hang out with him sometimes without her. She and I can also hang out without him around. I do believe in no new friends. Keep the friends you got once you're in a committed relationship. No new friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. I you can tell like just by that comment, like they have that level of trust of, hey, this is what it is. We spent time together. You've seen me interact with your wife. You've seen me interact with your husband.
Yeah.
So it's not any surprise. Everything's already established, and it had that visual proof of, hey, we just cool, we just chill. So
Yeah.
you guys already have something that's set up. That's very cool. That's
Yeah.
very good. A lot of times though, it's most of the time this happens for like work friends. It's like, hey, they goof off and be like, hey, yeah, that's my work husband right there, or that's my work wife, and already right there,
Yeah.
that's a sign right there. Like, hey, you can't be calling nobody else your
Yeah.
husband or your wife.
Yeah.
So like, okay, well, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Let's play this role. Let's play this role. But then, what is too far? And then
Yeah.
your too far might be different than your wife's or your husband's too
Yeah.
far, and then that's another issue within itself. So.
Yeah, it really is. You definitely got to be careful what games you play. I love Vernez's aspect on this. I have a friend now. I have two male best friends, and one of them recently is in a relationship, and there was an incident before where he was with someone who just didn't want him to have female friends. And so I backed up off of him as that friendship to respect his relationship. Granted, they were not together, to this day. He had someone new. And he said they were actually talking, and he just was like, it ain't nothing there. Like, we've never crossed the line. There is nothing there. So you have no reason to be like, oh, I don't want her around. I'm going to create that space for you to believe me. But at the same time, I'm not going to allow you to come in and just tell me this person got to go, that person got to go, when there's nothing there or have ever been there that shows that we've, been on that level with each other. And so I love that. I love that mindset in the fact that you're she's a person that, okay, we ain't got to be best as a friend just because that's my best friend, but we should be in a space where I should be able to hang out with y'all, or he should be able to hang out with me, or I should be able to hang out with her separately. And it's cool because it's literally just friends. It's really a platonic relationship, nothing extra going on. But it's really hard to find that these days. It really is. So
that just sums it up perfectly. I don't got nothing to add. That's
yeah. And then that whole work, I don't. Some things are not funny. Some things are because if you think stuff, the work wife, work husband, all that, if you think on that, play on that too long, that stuff starts to get in your spirit. What you say and repeat, it turns from being a joke to now being something serious. So I don't play around with those. Carrie, I'm with you. Yeah, we don't play around with work wives, work husbands. Nah, we don't do that. And yeah, Bernez, I do agree with everything you just said as well. So now we're probably going to be repetitive because now I'm going to get to my first question.
Get to it. Let's get to it.
So it's going to be a little repetitive, but just do the best you can and answering it. So what does a safe space look like?
Safe space looks like what we talked about before, like having 100% trust that I can come to you with an issue and that issue doesn't be used against me at a later time. Like if the thing is, as a man, it's like, hey, as a man, as the head of my household, my mood determines how the house flows. If I'm up and I'm good, everybody else is good. But if I'm off, everybody else is off. And what we have to get into as men is like, hey, babe, I'm off today. Like, I'm not feeling myself. Like, my energy's low. Like, I'm just a little down, depressed in the dumps. I can't explain why I am, but I just am. And having that space for them to be like, okay, babe, take your time, take your day, get yourself right. Everything else will be fine. Like, without you, like, not in the sense of like, hey, we can function without you, but like, you having a bad day should not affect us having a good day.
Yep, I agree. I think that goes for women too, because this is a saying that's been around forever. I don't personally agree with it, but the happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes for that as well. It's like if she ain't happy, nobody happy, and that's ultimately, I understand the concept, but that's ultimately an unhealthy concept. Because you shouldn't have to be always completely happy for me to be happy. That comes with self-love, that comes with self-care. Yeah. So I do think men as well, like Charity. Okay, that's it. And she crazy. She's talking about where y'all work at. She ain't never had a work husband. Yeah. But I do believe the communication needs to be there. And I don't know if necessarily it's maybe because there aren't safe spaces as to the reason why people don't want to communicate is openly or be that vulnerable with each other. But there does need to be a safe space where, okay, babe, as a man or a woman, listen, today I'm off. Like I'm aggravated, I'm irritated. I don't want to be bothered. I just need time to myself. And then that partner, like, you know what? Yeah, go do what you need to do, rejuvenate your spirit. But not necessarily take that internally like, oh my God, what now? Yep. Oh, you ain't, what? No, just, okay, babe, you need some time. I get it. Go do what you need to do to get yourself back together. I'm gonna go watch football, or mm-hmm. Or do you need me to help you with something? Like, what is it that you need me to do? If you want to be by yourself, go do that, and I'm gonna go do what I need to keep my mental, emotional together as well.
Right, because that's pretty much how I am. Is like whenever she's having a bad day, she's just like, "Babe, I'm tired. I'm not feeling good. All right, go lay down. I got the kids. I'll cook. I clean. I got it. Like just go lay down. Now, when you go lay down, stay down. Don't keep trying to get up every 5 minutes. Then I'm mad. But you know, like just chill out. Like it's cool. Like you don't have to take it on all by yourself. I know as a woman, I don't want to put thoughts into her head. She's in the comments, so she'll correct me if I'm wrong. A
Yes,
lot of
correct
times,
him, Carrie. Correct him.
a lot of times as her, she's a very much a people pleaser. So she will go above and beyond, like beyond to make people happy. To like, okay, I just worked a 9 hour day, I gotta come home and cook. Oh, I just worked a 12 hour day, I gotta come home and clean up. Oh, I know, it's our night to have our night. But I'm like, it's okay, it's okay for you to take your time. Like we ain't going nowhere. This house ain't going nowhere. I'm
Yeah.
your husband. I'm home, so I clean up. Like I make sure the laundry's done. I make sure the kids put to sleep. I make sure the kids cook. I cook. I can clean. I got that. What I need for you to do is to make sure that you are okay, and also respecting that at the same time. Where it's like, hey, babe, our thing is without communicating with her is like when I'm feeling down, I call it a recharge day because like
Yeah.
I'm very much an introvert person, so it takes a lot for me to like be around people to like kind of give people my energy, be entertained, and be high energy and like stuff. So I just need like a day, a couple hours. But like, babe, I just need to have
Yeah.
quiet, just chill. Let me get myself focused. Like I'm not mad. I'm not anything like that. I just need to, get my energy up. And her just being the same thing is just like, hey, go ahead. You want to go lay down. It's fine. It's cool. I'll make sure everything is okay. So having that understanding of, hey, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
That's been a bigger part of something that we've had to learn as a couple of when one of us was not okay, then we both weren't okay. Oh, you mad? It's my fault that you mad. So why you
Yeah.
mad? You don't need to be mad and doing a lot of that blame shifting.
Yeah.
But now through us getting back in the church and having all these like counseling things and stuff like that from marriage counselors, it's making sure that hey, it's okay to not be okay. If you're having a bad day, that's fine. And that goes back into kind of fix things. Like, hey, I want to fix you. I want to make sure you're happy. Like, I'm going to do that anyway, regardless. Like, I'm going to do that naturally just by my everyday, being your
Yeah.
husband, taking care of business. But making sure you have that space of like, I'm just sad. I just want to be angry. I just want to be upset. Like, okay, I make that space for you. Take the time you need to do that.
Um, that's the part I want us to get. And it's a trained behavior because it doesn't come naturally like that. But we have to remember, do not take it personal. If our partner, unless there was some really major incidents going on where, there's like some infidelity or cheating or something that just recently happened or been happening,
Mm-hmm.
do not take it personal when your spouse or partner is like, hey, I just need some me time. Let me breathe for a minute, or I don't want to cook today, or I don't want to clean today. I think us women have it bad where it's like, I can't do anything. My house ain't clean. But sometimes it's like, okay, listen, breathe.
Mm-hmm.
If that house ain't filthy, 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 let it go.
Right.
Breathe, take time to yourself. You can clean that house tomorrow, or don't put. I feel like we put that mental stress on ourselves a lot because we have these expectations, and
Mm-hmm.
then we don't meet these expectations. Now we beating ourselves up, and that energy carries on to us beating up other people because we out of whack mentally and emotionally from that. So let me get a couple of these comments on the screen before I move to the next. Charlie said, when I'm off, my wife being one with me is going to be 99%. When I'm only one, and vice versa. And even in being off, we pray for one another so the team can win overall.
Mm-hmm.
So, Charlie, are you saying like when you're off? Because I don't think I'm getting it right. So when you're off your space, are you saying that you need your wife to be there like the whole time for you to get back onto a medial ground or something?
I think what he's meaning is like she's that like if he's not doing 100% because in a relationship everybody's supposed to be doing 100%. It's not 50-50. It's 100 for 100. Like
Mhm.
if he's being like 99, she's gonna cover that 1% because that's what they understand that they have through their prayer life. I guess they pray for each other. Like, hey, I understand. Like, hey, I'm not always on my square, but my wife
Okay.
for me to have that renewed strength to have
Okay.
that. So that's what I think he's meaning by that, and vice
Okay.
versa. He's being like that 99 he's covering that other 1%.
Yeah, that makes sense then. That definitely makes sense. That's how it should be. I do believe that's why it's so important to when you choose a partner in life to watch how and why you choose that partner. This is I don't want to get off topic, but I'm the person that I do not believe. Okay, Charlie, he said, "Yeah, you got it." I do not believe in being with somebody just for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say this is because I had to make that decision for myself. Because I had a son, we were in church, and of course, everybody wants you to fight for your marriage or fight for the relationship. Don't break up your family.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to also ultimately decide, okay, am I creating, and at that time I didn't call it a safe space, but am I creating a type family that I want my son raised up in? Am I'm teaching him to be happy or to choose the right partner, or am I teaching him to settle? Because ultimately, if you're not happy, if the father's not happy, the partner's not happy, that household is not going to be happy. And so kids grow up in that toxic environment. So I'm the person that does not advocate stand together for the kids. I ultimately feel you do. I keep saying ultimately. Who gave me that word? I learned a new word and I just keep using it. But
Calendars.
but I do feel like safe spaces are important not only for you and your partner, but for the family and the kids as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be with somebody who you could consider your best friend, because I feel like that best friend, even if you didn't start off as best friends, if you have gained that best friendship in dating or in your marriage or relationship, I feel like that is a good safe space to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll like Charlie said, okay, if I'm at 90, let me go lower. If I'm at 40%, my spouse gonna pick up the 60.
Mm-hmm.
And then not throw it in my face either. So that they go back to earlier what you said. Well, yesterday you was this, that, and the other, so I did that. So why you can't, that's the unhealthy safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like, and that in turn leads to tons of other problems, because if you're not feeling comfortable enough to express to your spouse saying, "Hey, I'm not feeling okay," or "Hey, like, I'm just going through something and I can't tell you what I'm going through," it's either going to bottle up to the point of where it explodes, or it's just going to leak out into other things. And ultimately, if you can't feel safe with the person that you're with, you're going to find somewhere else to feel safe at.
yeah, absolutely. It's so Vernez said, okay, let me put his comment on the screen. I'm gonna go back to Carrie's, because I've been battling with that Carrie, the introverted empath thing. But Vernez said that doesn't work. Kids can see right through that, and you're actually hurting them more than helping. Yeah, absolutely. Charity just did a community baby shower event. And I actually spoke on broken homes, and I was saying broken homes are not just when the man leaves the house, it's when two toxic people are raising kids together. You're staying together for your kids, but you're teaching them toxic behaviors. That's a broken home.
Yeah.
So our mind says we got to change the way society has trained our thought process in things. Well, I'm gonna stay together. At least I kept my family together. It's not just about staying together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the least of it. But being happy, being healthy while staying together is the major part of it. Let me put Carrie's comment on the screen. Hers pretty long too, so you can't see all of it. But it says it's hard for empaths because you pick up the energy that is around you. That is my issue. Also, you have to be vocal about your recharge days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because like she said, she put it pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like, she picks up on everything. She's a people pleaser, so she wants to be around a lot of people. And
Mhm.
my issue at the beginning of our marriage was I would have my recharge days and not say anything. So I wasn't creating a safe space for her, because yeah, I'm having an issue, but she doesn't know what that issue is. And not knowing creates a whole other thing. Well, what is this? Why is he mad? Is it something I did? Something he did? What did he do? Now you just spiraling, and you just making a snowball into an avalanche. So that's something that I've learned on my marriage is like, hey, day I'm not feeling good. This is why I'm not feeling good. It's a recharge day. It's good. There's not any major issues. Nobody died or nothing like that. I'm just having kind of like an off day.
I feel like that type of communication, that type of honesty, and again vulnerability that you have with each other, that's a whole new level of intimacy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's a whole. That's like that's so sexy to me. Like I can talk to you, I can be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say, okay, you know what? I know what his recharge days is. I know what her recharge days is. So, okay, I want to go out, but I know her recharge days are on Mondays. So guess what? My marriage matters to me. My relationship matters to me. So on Mondays, I'm not going to plan anything for myself or nothing like that because that's her recharge days.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that communication and honesty with couples. Let me Okay, I thought I missed somebody comment that I was gonna put on the screen. But so let's go on to the next one. You covered this as well. If you want to just hit it just a little bit more, what happens when there are no safe spaces in a relationship?
I said when there's no safe spaces, it's just like with anything. If you're not getting something, if you need food, you go to the restaurant, you go to the store. So if you're not feeling safe within your relationship, marriage, whatever, you're gonna find somewhere where you feel safe at. And
Woo!
everybody wants to feel safe. So
Yeah.
hey, if I can't, this is just a random example. Like, hey, I want to talk to my wife about how I'm feeling. She's not necessarily hearing me out. So hey, I have this female friend that is listening to me. Well, hey, you listen to me, you hear me out, you understand what I'm going through. So naturally, I'm going to communicate with you more because you communicate with me more.
Yeah.
And if my wife's not communicating, then that just kind of cuts off, and then you're spending all your time talking to somebody else that's not the person that you're with. So
Hmm.
you're already pulling yourself in two different directions, and you can't do that, and that's just going to ultimately lead to either you stepping out or your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, stepping.
Right. So, guys, I am not an advocate for cheating, so please do not twist my words. But this is exactly why I understand how cheating happens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not that I know I read before if a person cheats, that ain't nothing to do with you. Is it's all their issue. I halfway agree with that because of the example we're giving now. Sometimes is that your partner is needing to get this release out, these thoughts out, these emotions out, and you're supposed to be that safe space for them.
Mm-hmm.
You are supposed to be the one supposed to come to. But if you're steadily cutting them off, if you're steadily showing them they don't matter, it's so easy to go and find someone to be that open door or listening ear to them. And then if that person is meeting their need, it's so easy to become attracted to that. And then boom, here comes the cheat. I think I read the other day, or was it yesterday? It was saying something about cheating don't start with sex. Cheating starts with a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and that's exactly how it goes. And so, and ladies, it's not just us, but I'm a woman. I'm gonna speak to us. This is why we have to be careful to be so quick to jump into a relationship. I posted the other day. We want the title, but we don't want the work. You have to be careful because it's work that come with that title, and not just the wife title, the relationship title in itself. You Once you get that person, you're not done. That is more work to do. You can't know. Well, I got the ring now. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm the girlfriend now. I can post us. I'm good. You're not done. You're not good. There's
Mm-hmm.
more work to be done.
Mm-hmm. And,
So,
and then a lot of times say we get in relationships way too fast. We see when we are in a relationship, we're dating, we're talking, whatever. We see people. We see the people that they want us to see. We see the version of people that they want us to see. We see them.
ooh,
They're sunshine. They're happy. Like they're
ooh,
good. I'm going down. We're going out. We spending time. We Netflix and chill.
man,
We getting it in. Like it's good. It's good. It's good. But you've never seen this person have a bad day. You never seen
man,
a person struggle, and they've never seen you struggle. So a lot of times we get to those points in a relationship where like, okay, yeah, we're building up. We're building up. We're married. Okay, so now it's not like that anymore. We're going down now. We're past the honeymoon phase. We're going
yeah,
down to the real of it. And it's like, well, man, this ain't what I signed up for. All you do is complain. We
yeah,
ain't as much sex as we were having. We ain't going out as much more as we having. So,
yes,
like, well, I'm gonna go find somebody else that was doing that for the first time.
yeah, yep. It's always fun in the beginning stages. That's the flirting, the honeymoon stage they call it. Charity Doula Bean, you are getting married, ma'am. I said it on live, so it's gonna happen. But when we're speaking on that, I actually did a live with Antoinette Marie in the comment section. I did a live with her. And we spoke on those 4 seasons. And there are 4 seasons. And I always say, I don't like the dating stage. Personally, I do not like it because, of course, you get the representative. So for me, I always tell people, and this pushed them off, but I always tell people, listen, you got to be my friend because in being my friend, I get to see all 4 seasons of your life. So I don't just get to see the date nights. I don't just get to see you making me laugh. I get to see when you're angry, when you're overwhelmed, everything. So once you see a person in all of those stages, then you'll know, okay, you know what? Yeah, you get a little extreme when this happened. I don't know if I could deal with that,
Right.
or you know what? Okay, now I see how to deal with him or her. I think I can handle that. So yes, you are. But yeah, I'm gonna have to reshare that too, Antoinette. He just made me think of that. We actually did the 4 seasons, and I actually want to go into more detail of that. I would love to have a man and a woman on here talking about those 4 seasons of a relationship or love.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. That's why I put you on blast because I want everybody to mark my words. You get married, baby. Okay, so going to the next one. So should safe spaces be created in the dating stage or just when you become exclusive?
See, now this one was kind of hard, man. So I was really thinking hard about this before this even. I didn't even know this was a question, but me and my wife kind of talked about this before because we talked about our relationships, how we met in college, so we were always together. So she pretty much moved into my dorm room. I was an RA, so we never really had a lot of time apart. So we were always around each other during the good, and we didn't think about creating that safe space. We didn't think about these things, but I feel like you should create that in the beginning, in the dating phase. If that's a person that, what you said, dating or exclusive.
So I'm asking, like, should you create those in just dating period or only once you guys have decided like we gonna be exclusive?
Well, I would say exclusive because if you're dating, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't say you want to create multiple safe spaces for multiple people unless you just want to have that many choices. Uh, I would say if this is the person that I'm going to be with, put my most time in, this is going to be at least the safest space. So when we working up towards our goals of a relationship years down the road or whatever, it's already established that hey, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, things change, but like this is what we're going to do. This is how I feel. This is how comfortable I feel. This is how comfortable you should feel. Like that stuff needs to be in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because thank God for us, for me, it's our relationship. We were able to endure that, not having that safe space and then creating it now. Like honestly, because I didn't get it right in my marriage until we've been married for 9 years, 10. I didn't get it right until like year 7 or 8. So I wouldn't want nobody else to go through what we went through. So I would say create that stuff early, so that way you get to those ends and you get to that point and your marriage fall apart because y'all not ready to. You don't have that safe space set up or don't know how to have it set up. So have that stuff set up in the beginning as you grow, so it only gets stronger from there.
Yep. I absolutely agree. And I say this because, and Carrie, she's right where I'm at with it. I'm gonna put her comment on the screen in a minute. But and I say this because my natural me, I love creating safe spaces, whether we're friends or dating. Like I love that because especially for men, because I feel like you guys need that outlet. I feel like and I learn, from you guys and how men think or act too, just by having so many men speaking to me. I actually had the other day, I had a man like, and we're not dating, but he talked to me about it's like a lot of his personal intimate stuff. And he just said, he just out the blue just was like, you so dope. Like I just feel free. Like I don't have nobody I could talk to that won't blast me on Facebook or talk about me. And he like, I thank you for allowing me to be able to get this off of me. And so I'm just naturally the person. That's why I'm a life coach, y'all. But I'm naturally the person that loves to create safe spaces with anybody, unjudgmental safe spaces. Again, especially for our men, because you guys need that. I believe you are the head, and so we need you guys together to lead these families, and lead us as women or whatever. Don't take that the wrong way, y'all. That's another topic in itself. Men leading us. But let me put her comment on the screen. So even in friendships, even in friendships, but also in dating. Carrie said, yes, dating phase. It's important to establish it at the beginning before you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's. Have you seen those? I don't know if they do it as much now, but have you seen those stats or memes that just be like, I'm not giving wifely duties to a boyfriend, or that type of thing. So here's my issue with that. When we talk about that, we're literally talking about maybe sex or maybe cooking or cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't talk about the deeper stuff in the relationship, communication. Being being that safe space for him. Like, if you're with somebody, you can't give that to them. Why are you even with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, if you ever do that other panel, please have me back because there's so much more I want to get into.
The Four Seasons.
Yeah, like if you do that one, please I want to get into that. But
Um, I'm before you go. If you and Carrie would like to do it together,
okay,
you guys come up with a date we can hit for November or December. Um, and then we can do that for a season together, because I do want a man and a woman on the screen, both kind of speaking from both aspects. Um, but that was our intermission. So yes, back to your comment.
yeah. Uh, dang, I was ready to.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
with the wifey thing, because it goes back into what people view as marriage. Like, do you think marriage is just sex, cooking, and cleaning? And like, no, it's much more than that. And we as men, we don't necessarily think about that either, because either it be from what we've seen, and a lot of luckily I grew up with both my parents in the home, but they weren't married, so I had no idea of like what a wife was supposed to do, or what a wifey is, or God forbid you follow TV, and that's just that's a whole nother can of worms. So when we talk about being wifey, it's like I don't need you to cook and clean for me. I know how to cook. I can clean myself.
Ooh,
Like,
man.
can I talk to you when I'm having a bad day? But also, can you give me that space to talk
Mm,
to talk to you about this kind of stuff? A lot of men we don't open up directly. Men are passive too. Like, we're not very emotional, but we are passive.
yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we'll say like a little snide remark about something, like, oh well, you know, it's food in there, like that. That's kind of rude, but it's like, yeah, I don't know how to cook, so can you teach me how to cook or something?
Yeah.
So we ask for help without asking for help.
Hmm.
So,
But that's all in knowing your partner. And I blame society. I blame society for the image that they put in our heads. We do think the whole being relationship status or being wifey or husband wifey status is cooking, cleaning, having sex. It is way deeper than that. Like, I don't have to be married to have somebody cook, clean, or have sex with me. I can get that in the society we live in. I can get that from anybody. So it's more than just that. When it comes to a marriage or being exclusive with somebody, you have to meet all those other needs that keep you guys healthy. And I don't think society speaks on those
no,
as much as they need to speak on. So we're confused as a species, as a human species.
yeah, that's why I say I'm so thankful that I got married when I got married. Because today, I don't know, I probably would just be single forever. But
Man, it's
luckily for we and my wife, the biggest thing for her that I've told her, like the best thing I liked about her that attracted me to her, it was like I can be my real self in front of her. Like, I don't
mhm,
have to put on this facade of being something that I ain't. I can just
mhm,
be myself. Like, I'm goofy. I like anime. I like John. I like music. I like
yeah,
writing. I'm very creative. I'm not very macho. I can't fix a car. I'm not very good. Not very handyman type.
mhm,
But I was able to be myself, true self with her.
right,
So that was an immediate safe space right there. Like, I don't have to be something I'm not, or pretend to be something else.
mhm. I I don't remember the exact thing he said, so I'm not going to quote it. But it was a guy, and he agreed to be on the panel with me. So I'm hoping we can get that in November. But Archie Parker, he actually made a post, and it was something along those lines. So it was like, as men, we don't, especially if you're raised by a woman, we don't have all these macho manly things all the time that we're taught. So we got to get it together once we're actually human. Once we're actually a grown man, and then don't let us have kids, and in the relationship we still figuring this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, it's the pressures from society of what a real man is supposed to look like or do. So
Right.
I like that you said that, because she's the person for you. Because you're not supposed to be with a woman where what you don't do what you don't
Mm-hmm.
do what with the car, you don't fix what, oh, you ain't no man. Okay, well, that woman ain't for you.
Right.
You need a woman who's gonna understand, okay, I can't do this, but guess what, we gonna pay somebody to do it, and be okay with that. What
Mm-hmm.
works for your marriage ain't gonna work for nobody else. And that's why I always agree with people, like, please don't put everybody in your marriage, because then you'll get people coming in your ear telling you, well, your wife should be doing this, that, and the other.
Yep.
And now you like, you know what, babe, you don't even do that for real. Now you questioning her. So Burnett said these things definitely should happen before becoming exclusive, because after you're exclusive, then you're gonna be, or if you wait till it's exclusive or married, then you're gonna be like, wait, who is this person?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, stuff don't magically come just because you said I do. Like,
Yep.
if it ain't in you beforehand, a lot of times you're gonna struggle to get there after you say I do. And then speaking on what you say, you learned your stuff like 7 years in your marriage, into your marriage. It happens a lot. A lot of us don't know it from the beginning. So then once you're married, it's like, oh dang, I'm in year 5, and I'm just now realizing, my partner don't like when I rub her feet. Just the simplest things or whatever. So, but yeah, that's my rant. Can you see the comments? I ain't gonna put her comment on the screen.
I can see what you put
Oh,
up.
you see?
I can't see them as they come in. If you don't put them up, I can't see them.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't gonna put her comment on your wife. She's said something funny.
Whatever.
Um. Okay. So, and guys, I hope we're still clear. He was going in and out on my screen, but I didn't want to say now. I hope you guys can still hear us pretty good. Continue to share the live. Anybody that wants to be on the panel, please hit me up. This is what we do. We're here to help each other grow, learn, grow, become better, so that we can have these healthy relationships and friendships. That's my whole goal with my brand. So make sure you guys tune in and come be on a panel with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 second. So, how can a woman create a safe space for her man?
Again, be that person that trusts. Make sure that they can trust you. That you've instilled that sense of trust within them. That you've seen them at their lowest point.
Yeah.
And I like to use lowest point, but you can see them at the highest point too. It's definitely good to have a safe space when you're feeling good too. So that's even better. But seeing them at their lowest point and knowing that, hey, I've seen this before in them, and I've seen how they acted when they were like this. So when they were like this again, they come to me, or I can open up a space and say, "Hey, babe, we need to talk," or "Hey, I'm just here." Just be near them and just say, "Hey, babe, I'm here for you." Like if you need to talk about it, just being in their presence actually helps too. Because
Yeah.
there were a lot of times early in my marriage where I was, going through my own little mental like recharge days, just not feeling it. But I didn't know how to vocalize it, but I did know that I wanted my wife next to me. So she just came and sat next to me, and I was like, okay, well, I know I can sit next to her, not feel great, not say anything, and it's good.
Yeah.
So just having that presence, like just say, hey, I'm just here. I'm not judging. I'm not gonna put you out there. Like I'm just here. Like you need to do what you need to do. I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, man, I agree with that. Now, flipping the script. So, how can a man create a safe space for his woman?
It's the same exact thing. We like to think that a lot of stuff is different, but it's the exact same thing. It's like saying, "Hey, I've seen my wife mad. Don't come in and be like, hey, I'll take care of it. Don't be Superman. Like, don't try to go in and fix stuff that you have no control over fixing, because you're gonna get in it over your head, and it's gonna create another issue. Just
Yeah.
sit back and just be like, hey, I'm here. Like, if you need me next to you, I'm just right across the couch. Or hey, if you want to be by yourself, like, hey, I'm just shoot me a text from downstairs. You upstairs, want to bring some water, get you some water. You want something to eat, I got your chips. I just
Yeah.
sit on the bed. You good? Everything good? Take your time.
Now, it's the minor things that matter. I don't think we realize that, and that's why I want the voice a little earlier. Like, we think, oh, sex, cooking, and cleaning. Okay, those are major things, obvious things, but it's a lot of those smaller things that will make or break your marriage or your relationship. So we definitely need to touch on those as much as possible in our society to help each other. So how can you tell if a person will have an issue with creating the safe space needed?
Well, as soon as that's what we talked about, whenever that first conflict happens, it's like, okay, well, hey, my hours got cut a little short, so paycheck's gonna be a little bit lighter. Well, why didn't you ask for more hours? Or it's always that deflection comes of blame. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's your fault that the hours are short. It's your fault that this, or it's your fault that this is happening. And it's like,
Mm.
well, it's not necessarily a fault. Like I'm not looking for blame shifting. I just want you to know what the situation is, so you can know what's going on, so we can kind of handle that together. But the second we start pointing fingers and start shifting that responsibility, it's like, well, dang, that's I know I already know my hours got cut, so I know we're not gonna have as much money as we are. So now it's like, okay, well, I gotta fix this problem. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can really do to fix it, so I gotta fix it. I gotta fix it. Like it creates that spiral of I have to fix this problem that I know I can't fix because my significant other is not gonna be happy that there's a problem. So how do I fix this problem that I can't fix so this person can be happy? Not knowing that, hey, I'm not gonna be happy anyway. Myself is already gone. So now I'm trying to please the person is like, okay, I gotta fix this. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix it. So I'm burning myself out trying to
Yep.
fix something that I can't fix.
Absolutely. And those are called red flags.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're with sometimes we like a person so much we just want them. We just want to be with them. So we try to do whatever it takes for them to think like we're the one. Look, we can make you happy. But that's a whole red flag. Like if you gotta, especially early on, if you gotta constantly burn yourself out to make somebody else happy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a union you shouldn't be in.
Yep.
So take the exit, find the closest exit you can and take it.
Yeah.
Um, I think Barnett's comment is to the question that was before that one. So he said, allow her to be crazy without calling her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Don't
Yep.
call, we ain't crazy. Don't call us crazy. But sometimes you got to let her rant and not say anything. She just wants you to listen, not necessarily combat it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. That's what we talked about earlier, Barnett. I don't know if you was on at the very beginning, but yeah, we don't like we just because we come into you with a problem, it doesn't necessarily mean we want you to always fix it. We just need to, like I said, most women are overthinkers, so we need to get this stuff out of our head, to be able to see clearly and think clearly. So yeah, we just want to vent sometimes. It's not that unless we ask you like, okay, what do I do? Or we directly say something that tells you to fix it. Yeah, just let us vent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because like I said, we and half the time we'll probably get bad advice anyway as men. Like, it's like, well,
He
you
said that
like
me.
person. Well, you should just go call her, just tell her. Like, well, what if she say this? And like, well, you say that. Like, so you telling me what to say? And it's like, I'm sorry.
Listen, y'all do that. I've been there before. Y'all do that because men have a different way of handling things. Like men could be into it with each other for the majority of the part. Men could be into it with each other and they'll talk about it and squash it. Women, we gotta ride that roller coaster. So I'm mad at the moment. I'm not finna go talk to her or you be like, oh, just talk to her. Yeah, but if she say this and I'm gonna go back out. You're right. That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
So it is those times where, okay, man, we don't want you always to like fix it for us or give us the advice. But yeah, I absolutely agree. So then last question, guys. This is our last question. If you have any more before we tune out, go ahead and get them in because we will be logging out. Um, and then again, you and your wife just get back with me on that date y'all want to
Okay.
get on together for that. But so the last question I had was, what can you do if your partner is not giving you the safe space needed so you can be the healthy partner you need to be?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would put this in different phases. Just do your best to communicate with them. Like in marriage, it's like, hey, you're my wife, husband, blah blah. This is what I'm needing for you as my significant other, and just tell them flat out like, hey, I'm not feeling safe. Like this is how I feel. Vocalize exactly how you feel. And if the partner is like, okay, we'll fix it. We'll work on it. We'll see what we can do. Then go on. If it's like, well, whatever, blah blah blah, that's a sign. I don't want to give people marriage advice because I want to be like, well, Ralph said my husband ain't feeling me safe, so I divorce him. Nope, nope, nope. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
It's
Say,
just
don't twist my words.
don't twist my words. Definitely, that's take that into consideration. Now, if you're in a relationship, I don't know. It's just like the same kind of. It's the same kind of deal of vocalize what you want, and if this person isn't giving you what you want, in a relationship, it's a lot easier to leave. I would say, I got no legal ramifications. Like, hey, I'm not feeling safe with you. This is what I'm needing. If they're not meeting that need, It's like, okay, if you're not meeting that need, I got nothing else for you. I have this. This is something that's very important to me, and if you're not going to see it, then we don't need to go no further than what it is right now.
Yeah. And a lot of those signs are in the beginning. Sometimes it does happen where people go through, I guess, what they call midlife crisis, and things change later on. But a lot of times, those signs are always in the beginning. It's just on us if we're going to ignore them and think we can change the person to be who we are, or whatever the case. But that is do you have any last words of wisdom for the people?
I mean, I would just say, like I said, I'm not by any ways a marriage expert. Like, I'm still learning, and I'm just now getting to a point in my marriage where, you know, I have this safe space. I've done what I can to create this safe space, and my wife has done the same thing.
Mhm.
Uh, as we say, creating a safe space for each other. Always be open and communicating about how you feel. Like, we're not mind readers. It's best to just be honest and open about how you feel and accept people for who they are. Like, if if your spouse is coming and telling you that, hey, this is what I need, do your best to fill that need. Now, if it's like, hey, I need you to hit the lotto, I don't think I can hit the lotto. But as far as like emotional support, like, I'm having a bad day, I'm scared to have a bad day. Well, okay, you shouldn't be scared to have a bad day. You know, we all have bad days. It is okay to not be okay. So be in that space for them to be not okay with you or just even near you is very key. And
Mhm.
open and honest communication is key, and trust. Like, just be sure to communicate, create that trust, and just know it's okay to not be okay sometimes.
Carrie said counseling. I believe counseling is for us either marriage counseling and or separate counseling like therapy. I believe in therapy. A lot of us, especially in the Black community, we don't want to admit that we have an issue. But the best thing you can do is admit you have an issue and do what you need to do to fix it. Because we got the society trending positive vibes only, but it's so many positive vibes only people that's advocating for that, but they're extremely negative.
Yeah.
You need counseling, you need therapy. You can't get to that positive vibes only with the way you internally or hurting or whatever. But
And lean into that. Like, lean into that. It is okay to ask for help, and it's definitely something to take advantage of because you might not see what you're doing, or your spouse might not see what they're doing to you.
yeah,
But having that professional intermediary and saying, "Hey, well, have you ever tried to look at it this way?" Because a lot of times we get tunnel vision. Like, this is
yeah,
how I feel, and this is her way. This is how she feel. We're
yeah.
not on. So having that third party in the counseling, like, just definitely lean into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's hard. You don't want to admit you're the problem. Nobody wants to admit their problem. So, okay, go to maybe a third party on the outside looking in can actually say, okay, yeah, you right, or nah, you tripped. Like you did this. That's the
That's
kids.
be
They
on
want
TikTok.
to. So we're about to close on now. So speaking of counseling, Carrie Bernez, you need counseling for sure. He said.
I say find a new
I said, find a new partner. See, counseling. Let me hook you up. But I said, find a new partner. Your person should bring out the best in you. If you're not being your best self, y'all both losing. It's unhealthy for both of y'all. Yeah, I agree though, Bernez. I'm an advocate for that. Especially before you say I do,
yeah.
you definitely need to make sure this person is bringing out the best for you. Because I'm also not an advocate of saying, "Oh, we married, I'm gonna fight for it." No, those times were there before you even said I do. So don't make an excuse saying now I'm married, I gotta put up with it. So that is my rant. We are done for the day. Thank you for coming on and being my guest on this topic. It was really lovely. You beat me to all the questions, but but I want to go through all the questions anyway. Guys, he has a podcast that he was doing. He's going to get back to that. So I do have his link in the caption. Make sure you go follow his podcast platforms. Follow his Facebook page if you're not already. I can tell from today that this podcast is going to be back and jumping once he actually go ahead and get it started because the mindset, the things you said alone, I'm an advocate for men. Bernez, what you delete? I'm an advocate for men actually speaking out. I'm an advocate for men being honest and vulnerable with life lessons. So yeah, I'm interested in joining that, podcast and tuning into it. So
Definitely.
uh okay, yeah, no, I thought he was saying something different, but all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tune out. Just hit me up later if you need to, and I will talk to you guys later.
We'll do. We'll do.